Captain on the bridge.
Alright, captains, we are back on the bridge, and today, yeah, we got some things to go over from the Star Trek Online X feed, so on screen. Yes, captains, before we get into this video, do us a huge favor and hit that like button to help the channel. But also, if you're new here, welcome. Consider subscribing here to the YouTube bridge, where we're always on the lookout for like-minded captains to share our love, passion for Star Trek Online, but also things Star Trek. Now, with that said, here we go. Captains, we knew this was coming, so we've got this to go over, which is the blog for the newly revealed Kelvin Timeline Constitution II coming to Star Trek Online. So we'll go over that, drop the two ECs, do some comparisons, and at the end give our conclusion. So, briefly, seen at the end of Star Trek Beyond, the Kelvin Timeline Constitution II comes to life for the very first time. You have a chance to claim it as part of the Infinity Pack promotion starting tomorrow. So here's a good shot of it. Now, I wasn't too sure how it felt about this when I first saw some pictures on the internet, and one of them was this right here. That didn't look too appealing to me, to be honest. It just looked out of proportion. Now, I know that there's probably someone else's sort of picture on it or take on it, and there were some others. It had some good angles, and you know, one of the things that I did like about it is how the pylons were more separated, and I mentioned that before in the video previously and over the years about this, and how slimmer the nacelles are. But we have this in this picture. It looks a lot better, not gonna lie, and I think they did a good job, and it doesn't look too shabby. There's differences, but I'm not sure for me at this point if it is for me. But regardless, we'll go over this here. So the Kelvin Constitution II, built at the end of Star Trek Beyond, the Constitution II of the Kelvin Timeline is coming soon to Infinity promo packs on PC. So as of this video, it will be dropping today. In this age of universes colliding, a peek into another way events could have gone is nothing new. Starfleet generally has regulations on technology from other universes crossing into our own, but there's a few backdoors that have been used by enterprising Starfleet captains. The results of one such loophole brings us a ship that many never thought they'd see in action, the Constitution II of the Kelvin Timeline. You'll have the chance to get the ship when you open an Infinity Crafting Pack or Infinity Duty Officer Pack on PC. So this will obviously follow to the console bridge probably in a month or so. But again, from April 11th, which is today, to May the 2nd. So here is another view of it. Again, this 3/4 view looking pretty good, not gonna lie. And again, if you see here the pylons, definitely separating the nacelles a lot more better than the original, and we'll get some more comparison there. Now the side view, again, I thought that these pylons were blending more into the actual shuttle bay of the aft, which I thought didn't look too good, but this looks well proportioned in my opinion. Kind of weird looking thing they did here with the secondary deflector here, but looks much better. So the Kelvin Timeline Constitution II Intel Cruiser. So the successor to the ill-fated USS Enterprise NCC 1701, which was lost in the Ultimate Nebula, was envisioned as being one of the most advanced ships in Starfleet for its time. Purpose-built for exploration of that self-same nebula, it has been outfitted with cutting-edge navigational sensor equipment as well as impressive maneuverability for a ship of its size. Originally constructed at Yorktown Station, the ship has also been outfitted with experimental gravitational manipulation technology and prototype defense capabilities imagined as a direct countermeasure to the unfortunate attack that destroyed its predecessor and namesake. So this ship comes with a Commander Engineering / Intel Bridge Officer Seat and a Lieutenant Commander Tactical Pilot Bridge Officer Seat. Now, if you remember, captains, the pilot was revamped last year, and when we did our sort of comparison to the pilot spec on the same ship that we used, which actually was on the Kelvin, the USS Kelvin, there was a noticeable difference. So, and with also Intel's sort of revamp, I'm pretty sure this ship will do good. There's no doubt this ship won't do good, really. As long as you build it, synergize it, use traits that will complement your build, it will perform well. So let's go over here. Now, I know we went over it in the video and the stream before, but we'll do it again here because we have the official blog. So, Hull Mod 1.3, Shield Mod 1.1, 4-5 aft weapon 3. So that's cool. I like it. It's 5-3. By slot 4. Again, the Bridge Officer stations there. Commander Tactical Pilot, Lieutenant Commander Tactical Pilot, I should say, and 1 Commander Engineering Intel. Ensign Science, Lieutenant Universal, and 1 Lieutenant Commander Universal. Consoles, 4 Tac, 4 Engineering, 3 Psi. And base turn rate 11, Impulse Mod 0.17, Inertia 60, +5 to all subsystem power. And the console, which is the universal one that comes with this, is the Proximity-Based Anti-Opposition Emitter, or the PBAOE. Has a cloaking device, gather intel, ship mechanic, and of course it comes with a cruiser command array. Starship Mastery Package is of the cruiser, so plus physical and kinetic damage resistance, plus hull regen, plus energy damage resistance rating, plus max hull capacity, and the Starship trait is the Gravitational Nexus. The Admiralty stats is there, the Engine 62, Psi 27, TAC 38, and its special is minus 10% maintenance per TAC ship or end ship. So here is the console. We did see this live on stream, and we did it also when we were streaming. Did a playback of 10 forward. So here it is, the proximity-based anti-opposition emitter. This defensive countermeasure was developed in direct response to the ultimate drone swarm attack, which destroyed the USS Enterprise within the dense nebula near Yorktown Station. The devastation caused by those unanticipated hull-to-hull contacts can now hopefully be remedied. This technology sets up a harmonic resonance between the interior of the ship's deflector shields and a polarized hull plating, allowing the ship's phaser emitters to bounce energy around between them, resulting in a field of devastation that is intended to be deadly to enemy vessels caught in its emissions. Increasing the ship's impulse speed results in a natural increase in the harmonization potential, further amplifying the phaser damage potential. So the passives on this is increase to phaser damage and flight speed and turn rate. I mean, it looks cool. It is a very visual heavy, and I don't really think it's necessary to have it that visually there, but it looked cool though, I will say. The Starship trait is the Gravitational Nexus, so adapted from the complex gravitational technology used at Yorktown Station. This artificial nexus can generate gravitational eddies to aid in the flight of starships, projectiles, and exotic particles that are attuned to the gravitational fields being generated. Activating any Bridge Officer Anomaly ability will simultaneously deploy an artificial gravitational nexus at the location of the target. Allies within 5 clicks of this nexus will receive increased flight speed and maneuverability, as well as bonus damage with exotic damage abilities and projectile weapons. So it's trying to appease the Sci-Fu captains and Torp captains, I guess, which usually, when I fly Sci ships, because I'm not a Sci-Fu captain, I usually just turn it into a Torp boat. So I would probably use this. It sounds good. Whether it is good, who knows? We'll leave it those to test it to find out, but I like the sound of it. Again, whether it is something that'll turn into quote-unquote meta, I can't say. This buff extends to the 24 allies nearest to the Nexus in the affected area, including summoned allies, hangar pets, targetable torpedoes, and mines. So it's kind of cool. And of course, Infinity promotion details. So of course, with all of these videos that we do, the links of the things that we go over will be in the description below. But of course, this is the ship choices that you get if you open this particular promotional R&D pack. Now, having said that, I know that a lot of people will try to open this to get the ship, but our recommendation always is to get, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a sale as well on these, because it says here from April 11th to May 2nd, we're running a promotion. Will provide an additional bonus when opening a research development pack or duty officer pack. Of course, you can buy this from the C-Store buy them with the Zen, sell them on the exchange when the sale is ended, because there definitely probably will be a sale, most likely, when this goes live. After the sale ends, put them on the exchange, okay? Repeat the process until you get enough energy credits to buy the ship outright with EC. Because I've seen people open boxes, packs, 250 plus, and get nothing. This is a guaranteed way. If you're going to spend in real life resources anyways, guaranteed, if you do that method, you will get the ship if it's something that you want. So again, we'll leave this in the description below. Now, I'm going to compare this ship visually to the actual other ships in game. And the first one, of course, that came in game was the original. Now, it took me a while to get used to the ship, but again, the only issue I had with it was essentially how close the nacelles were. And looking at the side profile, looking at the overall silhouette, and I didn't like the ship at first. I've grown to appreciate it. The only, really, to be honest, the only reason I would want to get this is to see how these pylons would look with this ship. And maybe the slim nacelles. But like I said, I've grown to love this ship. Now, going over the ship, the original ship, it is actually the Kelvin Timeline Heavy Command Cruiser. Captains, you know I love my command ships. One of the first promotional ships that I bought from the exchange, and very, very happy with it. And the difference is this is a full command, as it has one commander engineering command. Oh, actually, no, it has a temporal operative. So, but regardless, it has command. So a full command there and a temporal operative there. But I rather this configuration in terms of its stations, because I am of course, torpedo captain, but it's also, I've seen people use this as a tank. Now, there's another actual Kelvin Timeline ship in game already, and that's the legendary Kelvin Connie. I love how they kind of use it. So again, when you look at the ships in terms of the looks, they're pretty similar, and I love how they kind of use the same angle there. You know, there definitely is a change there in the secondary hull there. They still have the obviously torpedo launchers in the neck, but they've widened the nacelles there, or the pylons, I should say, shrunk down the nacelles, and of course widen how far they are apart. The saucer is a little bit different in terms of how it looks. Where'd it go here? So it's a little bit more sort of defined there. Keep pressing that one. But as you can see here, there's a good shot of the new saucer. And then when you compare it to the old one, it's very similar, but it kind of feels like they elevated with this strip here. And again, profile wise, I still kind of like how the original one goes, because it just kind of lengthened, and this is kind of more short and taller. So looking at it now, comparing the two, I still would prefer this, but I would love to see how these pylons look. So again, there's that, but there's also the legendary one as well that comes with the 10th anniversary pack. This is an Intel one. So they're both Intel, this legendary one and the new one incoming. And it also is a 5.3. So this one though has a Commander Engineering Intel and the Lieutenant Commander Universal Intel. So it's full Intel. So to me, I feel like this is a little better. Mind you, the availability of this ship is only through the 10th anniversary bundle. So I already have it. Those who have the 10th anniversary bundle already have it. It'll just depend. Really, I guess to me, it boils down to if you want to sort of have some space Barbie with your Kelvin Connie, because yes, it was confirmed that you can kit bash all these pieces. Now, of this legendary one, I did not actually like the refit class. It just made it look so spindly, and I don't feel like it was an upgrade, but they had to do something. Whoever thought this was a better look than the original one, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. The saucer looked the same. The differences definitely were in the neck. It was lengthened. The secondary deflector looks pretty much the same. The differences definitely is also in the pylons and the nacelles. But again, compared to the new one, you can space barbie this. I wouldn't necessarily use a secondary hull, nor the neck, but just the pylons to have the nacelles, again, just kind of separated. But in all honesty, after looking at this, going over this with you guys here in this video, I really start to appreciate the original one a lot more, just because this one just has kind of some weird sort of dimensions to it, kind of squat and taller. This one does actually have a more sleeker look to it, in my opinion. But there you go. So captains, again, just a video going over my 2 ECs on the new incoming ship. I feel that the Legendary probably is a little better. Of course, you min-maxers would know better. But regardless, if I were to get this, and this is on my list, don't get me wrong, this is on my list. The other way to get the ship as well, before I forget, is through next year's event campaign. Because of course, newly ships released in the year will not be available in the event campaign, but they'll only be available in the next year's campaign. So this is on my list. This has made it on my list. I'd say it's up there, top 5, and I'd only be getting it just because of the space barbability aspect to see how it looks. But regardless of the 3 type looks for the ship, definitely the original one takes the cake for me. So, but I know there are some captains who are definitely more excited with the ship coming, and that's okay. But I hope you captains actually just get it where you don't have to take the chance, take the risk of opening boxes and not getting it. So there you go, captains. That is my 2 ECs, or maybe a couple of them more than 2 ECs. But of course, you know, here on the bridge, we always have to share our thoughts here with you. So do us a favor, hit the like button, comment below, let us know your thoughts on this. Is this something you're getting? Is this visually better, visually better than the original? And is this better than the Legendary version? I'd like to know your thoughts, especially those who are more mechanically inclined here in Star Trek Online. Of course, subscribe here to the YouTube Bridge, and we will leave it on this note.
Live long and prosper.